Fantastic. Thanks, Dory. Hi, everybody. Great to see so many people here this morning. Hopefully, I'm not going to have any more interruptions because somebody just tried to walk in. I've got a couple of students here with me. So once I finished doing my presentation, I've got some questions that the girls are going to answer, and they will be truthful. They will be absolutely honest. And again, if anybody's got any questions about anything I say or anything I don't say, or anything that the girls say, or again, anything that the girls don't say, please just type it in the comments box, and we'll try and answer that once we've finished talking. So, a little introduction to Abbey College Manchester and to kind of living and studying here in Manchester. And my screen won't move. Oh, there we go. So, Abbey College Manchester. We are right in the centre of Manchester. If you look at Manchester on Google Maps and you look at the middle, we are right slap bang there in the middle, which is fantastic. It means that the students who are living in boarding, it's about a 10-minute walk down from the boarding house, and students who live with homestays or who live at home, so domestic students, it's really easy to get here. Train, tram, bus, all within kind of 5-minute walk. We're a very small college. Currently we've got 210 students on roll, coming from over 35 different countries, including here in the UK. So about 30% of our students are from the UK, so from Manchester, surrounding areas, as far east as kind of Leeds and Huddersfield, as far west as Liverpool, as far north as Preston, and then far south as certain parts of Cheshire. So kind of all around the northwest, and as I say, 35 different countries. And we, given how small we are, we run an awful lot of different courses, and we're very flexible in our approach to the students, and we can do that because we are small. And the girls will talk a little bit more about the actual courses they do and kind of what support we can offer, and we do offer to all of our students. So it's a really supportive environment, because we've only got 210 students on roll. There's a very much a family feel. We call it a big family. I know it's really cheesy to say it, but it is like a big family. The students have got lots of support available. We have a house system. So all of the students have, as well as a head of house, there's an assistant head of house, they've all got a form tutor. We've got a college nurse who is always here on site, and then in boarding, there are various resident house parents, and I've also got an assistant principal pastoral and boarding, and all of these people are there to support the students, because a lot of the students are a long way from home, which isn't always easy, and anything we can do to make things easier and make their lives better, we try and do. So, I mean, one of the unique things about us is we've got no uniform, and everybody's on first name terms. So I'm principal, but everybody calls me Chris, which for some of the students takes a little bit of get used to. Some of them never get used to it. Some of them are still called us sir and miss, and that's absolutely fine. But we don't expect that. Everybody is on first name terms, because it is that step, it is that link between kind of school and university, and ultimately we are preparing our students for the next step, so giving them that little bit more independence rather than when they were kind of at school. So we run a whole range of courses: GCSEs, A levels, IFP, which is the International Foundation Programme, CSP, which is the Combined Studies Programme for UK students, and ultimately most of our students, they're here because they want to get to university. The girls will talk a little bit more about kind of the UCAS support that we offer to all of our year 13 IFP and A-level students, and talk about kind of what universities our students have gone to over the last 2 years or so. So we have a motto here at Abbey College, and you'll see it as soon as you walk in through the front door, and it's achieving success together. Now, you know, for different people, success is different things. For some of them, it's passing the IELTS exam, it's getting those grades to get to university. For some, like Will last year, it's getting 4 A stars in university and getting a place at Oxford. So for everybody, success is a completely different thing, and we will support, and we do support absolutely everybody in achieving what they're here to achieve. So is success good results? For some people, it's going to be fantastic results, and we're really pleased and really proud of the results that our students have got over the last 2 years. And here's a quick snapshot of the results from last summer. So 38% A star to A level, 64% A star to B. Really pleased with those. Then the line in the middle, that's the IFP, the International Foundation Programme. And that's a percentage-based program rather than a grade-based program. And both of the girls who are here today are doing the IFP. They've got some exams coming up. They've got their first set of exams coming up. And they'll talk a little bit more about how they're feeling about the IFP. But the IFP program, the International Foundation Program, it's a modular program, and the students do 2 strands. They do, for example, biology and chemistry, or psychology and maths, as Natasha's doing. And so term 1 is psychology 1, maths 1, and then in December it's those exams. Done, dusted, finished, out of the way. Term 2, we then start psychology 2 and maths 2. And again, it's a modular program which gradually builds up the percentage throughout the year. And as I said before, we also run a GCSE program. We run an 18-month GCSE program, and we also run a 12-month GCSE program. Students can take a maximum of 6 GCSEs. And across all our different courses, the maximum class size is 12. The average class size is probably somewhere around 8 or 9, but it does depend on the course and the subject. And of course, being in such small classes means the students can get lots of support. It means they can ask the teachers lots of questions. They get lots of input from the teachers. It means they can't kind of sit and hide at the back of the room, because in lots of these rooms, there is no back of the room. The science labs are all set out in a U shape, in a horseshoe shape. And again, it's just another way that we can provide support for our students, with students coming from so many different countries. An awful lot of the students, they're working in language 2, language 3, and all of our teachers are absolute experts in helping the students to succeed, in helping them to achieve in whatever way they possibly can. So in terms of which universities our students go to, a lot of the students, they come to study in Manchester because they want to go to university here in Manchester or somewhere here in the north. And popular courses every year are kind of the engineering, medicine, law, economics, and those are huge areas of strength for Abbey College. And then last year, as we see, so 32% of IFP students went to Russell Group universities, and the same percentage of A-level students went to Russell Group universities. King's College London, for some reason, was a very popular choice last year, as was Manchester, as always. But we were really pleased by the range of universities that our students got into. And we've so far had quite a lot of offers. One of our students has already got 5 offers for his A-levels. One of the year 13 girls has also got 2 unconditional offers. So those offers are starting to come through. And again, 2 of my assistant principals run the UCAS groups. And the girls will talk more about the UCAS support they get later, but I think the UCAS support that the students get is absolutely fantastic. So success may be defined as getting top grades. It may be defined as getting to your first choice university, going to a Russell Group university, but also success is other things, isn't it? You know, there are other ways of measuring success, and one way that we try and help the students, try and support the students in their educational journey, is through the 5 R's. So we have the 5 R's, and they run through everything that we do here, and they are, as we see there, routine, rigor, responsibility, resilience, and reflection. And again, all of the 5 R's support the students working towards independence, working towards that next step, working towards being reflective learners, being, you know, which is going to be really vital once they leave college, once they go to university, where the support, the pastoral support, will be far less than in a college. There's not going to be anybody getting them up in the morning. There's not going to be anybody checking if they're, you know, if they're going to lectures and stuff. They're very much having to be independent. So through these 5 R's, which kind of overarch everything we do, we try and support the students and kind of gradually push them towards taking responsibility for themselves and looking after themselves. So in terms of academic support, which ultimately is why all of our students are here, regular meetings with the students. We report home every half term. So every half term, parents and students will get a full report about their progress. Now, we've introduced a new system this year, and we're calling it Patch. And those are the different areas that teachers and students are commenting on. And Patch stands for progress, areas of development, target grade or target percentage, current grade or current percentage, how to get to the next level, which of course is the ultimate goal, and then a comment about the homework. And the students are also invited once a term to sit down and talk with their personal tutors through their own individual patch, obviously with input from their academic teachers. And again, it's another way of introducing the students to being more reflective, being more independent, and having sometimes those difficult conversations with the teachers, having those kind of difficult thoughts with themselves about exactly where their gaps are and what they need to do in order to get to the next level. And towards the end of the year, all of the students in year 11 and year 12 have an individual review, and that will either be with their head of house or with one of the director of faculties and me, depending on who they are and kind of what course they're thinking of going to. A lot of the year 12 students who are doing A-level will be advised to swap to the IFP program or the CSP because it's a more relevant program to them. And again, that comes through discussion in the individual end of year review. And again, we then report home to parents. No decision is ever taken by us without consultation with the students, because ultimately, as we say, they are the ones who are important in this journey. And we also have a fantastic academic English and IELTS department here. As I say, lots of our international students are working in language 2 or language 3, will need the IELTS in order to get to university. So all of the students who need IELTS have IELTS timetabled on their timetables. And of course, the beauty of the IELTS system is that the students can take the exam when they're ready for it. Unlike the A-levels or the IFP, where there's set exam times, IELTS is done as and when the students are ready. And again, the IELTS teachers will advise the students when they think they're ready, and can put on bespoke classes. So if a student needs to focus more on writing, they'll do a writing class. If it's listening, do a listening class, etc., etc., etc. And again, being small, knowing the students individually means we can offer that kind of bespoke support. So in terms of the day, that's what a typical day looks like. So the early bird study session is a study session that all of the students from Clydesdale House have to do. It's initially three times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're going to take it down to 2 for the students who've got all greens on their first patch report. So they've got greens for progress and greens for homework. We're going to allow them to drop 1 study session because they've proved they're good students and they're working well and making good progress. Otherwise, students have 3 early bird sessions, and then lessons don't start. So teaching doesn't start until 9:30. And then it's a little bit later than lots of colleges. And again, it just allows students who are traveling in from a long way away a little bit of extra time to kind of get here, which is good. And then lessons are all 40 minutes. Most are taught in doubles, which is great for the A-level practical subjects, so all the sciences and the arts subjects, an hour and 20 minutes. It's a good length of time. And then lessons finish at 4:40, at which time students are free to go. So this college building is open from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. And students are more than welcome to be here for that whole time. There are people here to support them if they want to be here studying. We've got lots of nice study areas that the students can work in, or they can choose to work in a classroom. Again, we're very flexible about where students are. So there's some photos of some of the classrooms. You've got the Learning Centre top left, the photography suite top right, one of the science labs, and then one of the computer rooms there. And we also offer on a Wednesday afternoon enrichment and clubs as part of the programme. So all of the students have to do some kind of enrichment or club on a Wednesday afternoon, and enrichment is exactly that. It's something designed to enrich the students' time with us, to enrich their timetable. Lots of the students choose the sports options. So they go down to a local sports centre and play either basketball or badminton. We also offer yoga here in college. And there's lots of other things, as we see there, art and photography. Board games is always a really popular one, which is fantastic, and the students sit and play Monopoly or chess or cards or whatever it may be. And again, it's a social time. It's a little bit of kind of taking your mind off your studies time, which I think is really important for the students. And as well as clubs and enrichments here in college, all of the students in Clydesdale House, there are various different activities each night, ranging from beauty evenings to crafting. And of course, Christmas is coming up, so I think they'll be doing some baking and various kind of, they did Halloween, and we always celebrate. We celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Jewish New Year. We'll celebrate Eid. We celebrate Iranian New Year. So, and I think for Nigerian Independence Day, we've got a Nigerian cook. So she cooked special food on that. And again, because we have students from such a range of nationalities, we do enjoy celebrating where we can with the students for their special days from their countries. And as well as the academic courses I've mentioned, we also have a range of sports options that go alongside the academic studies. So football was our first one, which we launched 5 years ago. And then basketball came online just over a year ago, or a year and a half ago. And we're very excited that we're going to be able to offer cycling and tennis from September 2023. All of those courses you can do with basically any course, any academic course, GCSEs, A-level, IFP or CSP. Again, we would have to have a discussion about the subjects and about how often students do the courses. And again, we can make those changes on a bespoke basis. So the sports courses are all run by professionals. They're not run by Abbey College. The students are kind of seconded out to these different people. So it's International House who run the football program, and their head coach is David Raven, who's an ex-professional footballer, played for Liverpool and played for a couple of clubs in Scotland. The basketball course is run in conjunction with the Manchester Giants, who are the professional basketball team here in Manchester. The cycling is going to be at the velodrome, which was used in the Commonwealth Games back in 2000. And again, it's a professional team. And then the tennis is at the National Tennis Centre up where the velodrome is on the Etihad Sports City campus. And again, the sports programs instill a lot of discipline in the students, and what we've also noticed is it hugely improves their English, because obviously all of the coaches are English, and they're using kind of real English in a real setting rather than an academic setting, and their English improves massively. So there we go, Clydesdale House. So it's, like we say, it's about a 6 to 10 minute walk away, depending on how fast you walk. It may take about 2 hours if you stop in all the shops. There we go. I'm getting a laugh there because Natasha knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you stop for a little coffee on the way, or go into one of the shops or two of the shops, but no, it's not far away at all. And it's for our students who are 16 years or older, and they have to be 16 by the 1st of September in order to go into boarding. And it's absolutely fabulous. Every time we show people around there, they're blown away by the facilities. It is really nice. The students all have their own individual self-study bedroom, which they've got their own bathroom. They've got a study area. They've got a nice big bed, and it's designed in what they call clusters. And each cluster has either 9 or 11 bedrooms. It's boys or girls. So girls have got at the moment 2 clusters on the 2nd floor. The boys have got 2 clusters on the 3rd floor and 2 clusters on the 4th floor. And then each cluster has a huge kitchen and a really nice social space, which you can see there. And again, with a big table, nice comfy sofa and TV. And I think we've got Netflix on each TV. We provide all the meals. The students are free to cook for themselves if they want. Like I say, they've got a big kitchen. We've got a fantastic chef who cooks the evening meals. And we also provide lunch and breakfast, and there's always snacks available. So when the students go back, they pick up their keys from Emma or one of the other house parents, and they can pick up some snacks, some fruit, some chocolate, some crisps, whatever it may be. High-speed Wi-Fi, lots of, it's very secure. So it's in the centre of Manchester, but it's very secure. So the students have a key fob to get in through the front door. And then at the end of that corridor, there's another door that you need a fob for. And then to get into their own cluster, it's a fob. And then to get into their bedroom, there's another key. So parents who are sometimes concerned about security, it's a very secure location. And from September 2023, only Abbey College students will be in Clydesdale House. At the moment, there are some university students in one of the other clusters, and they cannot access any of the Abbey College areas. But from September 2023, it's just going to be Abbey College students, and we're very excited about that. And there's also a cycle store on the ground floor and a laundry room, and they are both complimentary. Some nice photos there of Clydesdale House. So have a little look at those. Looks very nice. And for students who are under 16 or others who choose not to live in Clydesdale House, we also have lots of host families. And the vast majority of host families we have worked with for years, and they've been hosting our students for many years. Quite often what we find is that students who live with a host family when they're under 16, when they turn 16 and then can move into Clydesdale House, they choose not to move into Clydesdale House because they're really happy with their host families. And again, the host family will provide 3 meals a day plus lots of snacks, and we'll look after our students as though they're a member of the family. So the host families are based all around kind of Greater Manchester, usually within kind of half an hour, 45-minute travel. And when the students initially go to stay with the host family will show them around the area, show them where the tram, the train, or the bus stop is, probably do the journey with them into college once or twice just to get them used to it. And then the students really do become part of the family. They're always invited for evening meals, and it's much nicer for them to go to evening meals rather than kind of sit in their own bedrooms. And they really do become part of the family and get very well looked after. And again, we kind of talk to them, we visit them in their host families, we visit the host families just to see how they're getting on. So why choose Abbey College Manchester? Well, Manchester is a fantastic city. It's a really vibrant city. It's not too big. It's a very diverse city. It was recently it was voted the only UK city by Time Out in the top. That doesn't make sense. Time Out recently released their top 20 cities in the world, and Manchester was the only UK city in that top 20. That kind of makes more sense. The teachers are all absolute specialists in their areas. Many teachers have been here for a long time because they love it here, because our students are fabulous, and because it's a great place to work. And it's a great place to study. We've got flexible learning programs, as I say, very small classes, we're teaching the students that independence. And we're right in the middle of the city, and it's a fabulous place to be. And there we go. So last year in September 2021, Manchester was the 3rd best city in the world. It's got a fantastic sports scene, art scene, restaurant scene, music. It's just a great city to be in, and everybody is welcomed. So that is all I have to say. So I am now going to introduce you. There we go. I'm going to introduce you to Natasha, or she's going to introduce herself to you. And we've not got Rojin with us yet, but here's Natasha. So Natasha, if you want to come in there. There we go. Fantastic. So do you want to kind of introduce yourself, and then I will ask you some of these questions, or do you want to just talk? What's the easiest way for you?
You can ask me.
Okie dokie. So tell us your name, where you're from, and what course you're studying.
My name is Natasha Ronta. I'm from Nigeria. I'm doing the IFP program, and like Chris said earlier, I'm doing psychology, math, and then the key skills that comes along with the course as well.
Fantastic. And what key skills are you doing then, Natasha?
University key skills. So like research, writing, making notes, or that whole
referencing. taking notes from lectures and stuff. And is that helping? Do you think that will be a useful thing to do for when you go to university?
Most definitely. Even now in my subjects, I've noticed myself using the skills that I've learned from my key skills to do my current subject.
Fantastic. So why did you choose, because you were new this September, weren't you? This is your first year here at ACM. So why did you choose Abbey College Manchester?
Mostly because I like the city of Manchester. I came here last summer and I loved the vibe of Manchester. I liked the community. The people were so nice. And when I went online, I was looking for schools to go to. I saw Abbey College Manchester because there's different ones. There's London, there's Cambridge, but the Manchester one struck out to me and I'm like, I have to go to this school.
Was it a good choice? Okay, what are you enjoying about being here at ACM then?
Most definitely Clydesdale.
Okay.
Because like he said before, I don't want to make it sound cliche when saying, but we actually are like a family. Yeah. There's some times where all of us will go to the common room, we sit, we watch TV, we talk. My fellow Nigerians, the Iranians, the Chinese people, the Europeans, all of us sit down, we talk, we watch TV. Sometimes we go to the kitchen, we cook food. So we'll cook our Nigerian food like jollof, fried rice. And then the other people are there watching like, wow, they could cook. And we all try to taste each other's different foods, like Greek food. I tried Iranian food for the first time a few months ago. The experience is just amazing.
Fantastic. And what about, okay, so that's Clydesdale. And what about here in college? What are you enjoying here in college?
So like he said, the class sizes are small, so you have that personal relationship with the teacher.
So in your psychology class, then how many students are there?
7. We're 7.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So the teacher is there, and if you don't understand anything, there's no pressure. There's like, oh, if I ask this question, the rest of the class will look at me weird, or maybe I'm the only one in the class that doesn't understand what he's talking about, and I'm the only one. I'll look stupid for asking the question. But since we're a small group, there's none of that is there, so you're comfortable enough to just ask the teacher anything you want to ask.
And how have you found the teachers so far?
They were very good. Like my psychology teacher, for example, he went to uni and studied psychology. So he's a specialist in that field. And also my math teacher as well. He did math and physics in uni and got his master's, I believe. So all the teachers are very
knowledgeable, and they're absolute experts, aren't they, in their areas. That's really good. That's really good. Okay, so where are you up to then in terms of your UCAS application? How are you getting on with that?
So first off, obviously we applied to the UCAS on the website, and right now my UCAS groups, because there are different UCAS groups, we're writing our personal statements and we're just about finishing up with that. But we paused since we're writing our mocks in this week. We've been writing our mocks and we're ending, well, I'm ending today, some people are ending tomorrow. So we paused just for our mocks, but most of us are almost done with our personal statements, and we plan to send out our personal statements before we leave this December.
Oh, fantastic. You're going to do it before you go?
Yeah.
Excellent. And what are you applying for at university then, Natasha?
Psychology.
And where are you applying?
My first choice is University of Manchester. When I came here, my whole mind was I'm going to University of Manchester. But now I've also been open to other, they've shown me other options. We had a open university day.
We had a university fair in when we had lots of universities in to talk to you.
Loughborough, Plymouth, Keele University, so many universities came, and I broadened my options out. So now I have a lot of universities on my list that I want to apply to.
And how have you grown as a person since you've been here at ACM over these kind of 3 or 4 months?
Definitely, I've become more patient, more tolerant, because I've never been in a boarding house before, so the whole boarding experience in Kaiser was new for me. And here also at the school, the college, I've seen different people. I've seen the way different people interact. I've seen the different teaching styles. The teaching style here is very different from how it was back home.
In what way?
So back home, it's more like the teachers are there for you. Like everything that you want, the teachers are there to support you. But here is more independent. So I was more reliant on my teachers if I needed. So here, if I ask a question, they're like, okay, this is the answer, but do more research on this so you know more about it. They won't give you the full answer.
Great.
But back home, I know that if I ask a question, I'll get everything I want. They'll give everything to me. So I was more dependent on my teachers back home. And I came here and it was a completely different teaching style. Also with textbooks back home, we get like a whole bunch of textbooks and we walk around with the textbooks. You come to school with the textbooks, you write on notes and everything. But here, most things are online, which is something I had to get used to as well.
And are you enjoying? It sounds like you're really enjoying it. And what about the city of Manchester itself?
Oh, Manchester is a beautiful city, and it's also small. Since we're in the city centre, it's really small. So, you could walk literally across city centre. You go to the mall, like you said, but not on the way. Not on the way to school. Maybe after school during break time, you could. From school, you could literally go to the mall, get food, come back, and then the people here in Manchester are really nice. Like we have a corner shop near our boarding house. We have food shops, and the people there are getting used to us already, and they're very nice to us.
Right.
It's a wonderful experience.
It is a very friendly city, isn't it?
It is.
It's a very small city, it's a very friendly city.
Yeah.
And contrary to what everybody said, it doesn't rain the whole time, does it? It's not raining today.
It's going to if you're coming to Manchester, don't forget your umbrella. Every second it rains.
That's not true. That's not true. But do bring an umbrella. Bring an umbrella is a good piece of advice. So have you got any advice then, Natasha, for anybody thinking of applying to Abbey College Manchester? What would you say to them?
Come with an open mindset. At first, there's a lot of culture shock. Maybe just for me.
No, it is very different, isn't it? Because you're a long way from home. You're a long way from Nigeria. First time away. Were you kind of welcomed? Were you made to feel welcome? And yes. Did you settle in quickly?
I did. Surprisingly, I didn't think I would, but I did. The first day I got here, I had like 5 suitcases, and I walked into the boarding, and Emma was there. I was so scared. I told Emma I'm scared to be in the boarding experience, and she's like, "Oh no, there's nothing to be worried about." And later that evening, we had an icebreaker. So we did 2 truths, 1 lie. That was the game we did, so everyone gets to know each other. And from there, everyone was just talking, and it was
nice.
It's weird. Nice. I don't know how to explain it, but everyone just got used to each other, and everyone got their friends very quickly.
Fantastic. So that helped kind of alleviate any kind of homesickness or a lot of the homesickness, a lot of the culture shock, because you were welcomed. And then we started college, and you're just thrown straight into it. Yeah. Fantastic. So you've had mock exams this week, and then you've got your Unit 1 exams the last week of term, which is kind of 2 weeks' time. Yeah. And how are you feeling about your actual exams?
Nervous.
Yep.
But I know that the mocks we did, by the time we get the results next week, and they're writing our patch reports based on the mock.
Yep.
So we'll see the areas of development and how to improve.
How was your first patch report?
It was good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
And did it give you some real key indicators about what you need to work on?
Yes.
And was that useful?
Very.
And have you worked on those things?
I hope so. I'll find out when I get my mock results.
Fantastic. But we haven't got our other student. Our other student is obviously caught up being busy. So I think that's everything from us. So thank you very much to Natasha. I think that was absolutely fabulous what she said. So if anybody got any questions, then Tori, I guess it's back over to you.
Hello, hi, yes, I'm here. At the moment, I haven't had too many questions come in. One of the things I was just going to, obviously you've talked a lot about some of the students travelling into college, and I was just going to ask a question about the sort of number of local students versus international students, and how does that sort of nationality mix work within the college?
Okay, so it's about a 70-30 split this year. So it's about 70% international students and 30% domestic students. And as I say, the international students come this year from 35 or 36 different countries, if not more. And everybody's together. everybody's all together in all of the classes, in Clydesdale House as well, in the tutor groups, in the houses. How do you feel then, from a student point of view, from an international student point of view, how do you feel that the different nationalities mix? How do you mix? Because you've mentioned trying Iranian food, trying Greek food. What about in the classes? How do you feel that you all kind of mix in the classes?
In the classes, since the class size is small, there isn't really like everyone grouping up like separately. So most people are usually together. The most I can say that there are clusters. So most of the students here are East Asian or from that particular part of the world. So they take up a big majority of the school. So I would say that's the only major group that is clustered. But other than that, everyone is fine together. Everyone talks together, eats together, plays together, works together.
Roisin has just joined us. So Roisin, come round. Bring your chair around. And do you want to... There we go. So if you want to introduce yourself quickly.
Well, I'm Roisin. I'm 20. It's been 1 year now that I'm studying in Manchester at Abbey College. And
What are you studying?
I'm having IFB course, IFB medicine, and I'm having chemistry, biology, and math. I really enjoyed the time since I came to UK actually, and I chose Abbey College because it was well recommended by my lawyer, and my parents did research about it, and they found out that Abbey colleges are really famous around the UK, and I really like the teachers in here. They really help me with everything, with my assignments and with my lessons, and especially I really like the biology lab and the chemistry lab because we do most of the experiments all together. And
how many students are in your classes then? How big are the classes?
I think approximately about we're less than 10.
Less than 10?
Yeah, less than 10.
So does that mean you get lots of support from your teachers?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I really love Manchester. The people in Manchester are so friendly, and I really wanted to come here rather than London because I don't like crowded places.
What about, okay, so obviously Natasha, her first language is English. Your first language isn't English. Yeah, your first language is Persian.
Yeah.
So do you have IELTS there? I mean, obviously your English is fabulous. Do you have IELTS lessons, or do you not need IELTS lessons?
No, I didn't really need IELTS lessons because I've already done them in my own country.
Perfect.
But since I came here, of course, it had like really big effect on my level of English, especially my accent. My accent was like almost American, but now it's like kind of British. So yeah, it's because of the. No, it's not.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So how do you find the teaching when it's in your second language? Do the teachers make a lot of allowances for? I mean, obviously your English is fabulous. Some students, their English isn't as good as yours.
Actually, so many people consider it really hard, but it's not that hard because they explain every vocabulary and every word to you. So even if you don't know the word, they will explain completely to you, and you can also use dictionaries, and you can get support from the teachers.
Fantastic.
And they really actually they know this fact that it's not our first language, so they try to talk not that fast so we can understand, and also lots of explanation about the words, and we can also search it on our laptops, and because we always have access to them. Yeah,
brilliant. So you're enjoying your subjects?
Yes, I really do.
They're hard.
Yeah,
They're hard.
I don't consider them as hard because if you just study them, because we have so many times to study them in the basement, and yeah, especially this year. Last year I was in host family, but now I'm boarding, and it's like you have more pressure to study. Yeah, and I think it's a good thing actually for me, because you have to like get up early and just
you got to be independent. You've got to absolutely, you got to do that routine.
Yeah, you have your own routine.
And how are you getting on with your UCAS application?
I actually done my personal statement.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I just did it so fast because I did the research, and I had the work experience from my own country related to the major that I want to study for.
Excellent.
So, and I really get help from Mark from college and my teacher Julia, and they really helped me.
So are you ready to press go
Yeah,
Yeah?
actually, yeah, but I'm just waiting for my exams, the result of my
Fine.
exams.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just did my mocks, so I'm waiting to.
And where are you applying to?
Actually, I want to apply for a pharmacy or cosmetic science, which is a rare
Yep.
yeah,
course.
yeah, it's a rare course, but it's like we call it pharmaceutical as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's one of the fields of pharmacy, and I really am looking forward to apply for John Moores University.
Oh, cool, in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Liverpool. Yeah, I'm looking forward for that because it's a really good university for chemistry basis.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And you mentioned that you swapped from homestay to Clydesdale, so you got experience of both. How are you finding Clydesdale?
Actually, I find it better because because you have your own area, you have your own bathroom, and you have more support from your house parents, because we have, I think, 3 or 4 house parents. Yeah. And they're always available, so you can get help from them about everything. And also especially the location of the Clydesdale, because I had to like come with bus every time, and it takes about 30 or 40 minutes every time. It was so tiring.
Whereas Clydesdale was
unless
you're Natasha, who was told that she always goes shopping or for a coffee on the way.
One of the good points actually was that it was really near to
Brilliant.
college.
Fantastic. So overall, you're enjoying Manchester, you're enjoying Abbey College?
Yeah, if I could, I would apply university in Manchester. Yeah, but I also want to experience other cities in UK.
Fantastic. And what would you say to anybody thinking of applying to Abbey College Manchester?
I think that it is one of the really good colleges, international colleges especially, because also students are international.
How do you mix? So Natasha was just saying when you walked in, how do you mix? Because obviously there's a lot of Iranian students here this year.
Yeah, but last year wasn't like that.
No.
Yeah, there weren't so many Iranian students.
How do you mix? How do all the students mix with all the different nationalities?
Actually, they're really friendly, and we are really eager to know other cultures. Yeah, we're really eager to do that actually. And it's really good because I have friends in all of the countries almost now. Yeah, but there's also so many Iranian people in here. Yeah, which is nice. You're not going to be really homesick because you're seeing
that's nice.
So many people from your own
and especially
country.
With certain difficulties which are going on at the moment in Iran, you can kind of support each other through that.
Yeah, we can support each other.
Fantastic. So overall, girls, you're both really happy here. You're both pleased you've chosen Abbey College Manchester, and you're both aiming for awesome scores and fabulous universities. Yeah. Cool. Brilliant. Tori.
Hi. Yeah. Okay. So we've had a few questions coming in.
Cool.
One, Chris, is probably one for you to answer, in particular about within Clydesdale House, and the sort of that. Obviously, we've said that the students there are 16 plus, but in terms of the age range of the students there, how do you kind of manage placing the students in there? And is there any consideration on age in terms of the clusters that the students get sort of placed in?
So obviously, obviously it depends on how many students we get, but on the whole, we try and put kind of the younger ones together and the older ones together. It doesn't always work. As I say, we've only got 2 clusters for girls. We've got more clusters for boys, so it's sometimes easier with the boys. But we do try and put kind of all the 16, 17-year-olds together, then kind of 18, 19-year-olds together. But because the students have got their own individual study bedroom, and because they can go to all the other areas, obviously boys can't go to girls areas, girls can't go to boys areas, but because they can all cook together or all kind of hang out in common rooms together, it's not that much of an issue. We don't have this kind of hierarchical structure that you get in a lot of schools where year 10s can only go here, year 11s can only go here, because we have students of all different ages in different year groups. So for example, how old are you?
20.
And how old are you?
17.
There we go. Okay. So the 2 girls there, they're very different ages, but it doesn't matter. And lots of students don't know. So most students won't know you're 20. Most students won't know you're 17. And again, it doesn't matter. So, one of the reasons I imagine Rajin is slightly older is because you had to learn English first, and you've probably done your whole schooling in Iran, then chose to come here. So we really don't look at age, and I know a lot of students kind of get worried that, oh gosh, I'm older than other people, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was worried at first, but then you don't really feel
No.
like you're, for example, older than other people.
And nobody cares.
Yeah.
In a nice way. In a nice way, nobody cares.
Nobody cares, exactly. And especially Natasha, you didn't know that I'm 20. They
I
were
thought-
really shocked.
She thought I was older than her, and I thought we
Yeah.
were the same.
There we go.
age.
Yeah,
That's
there we
why I
go.
asked her,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, we don't have that same rigid structure that you would get in normal schools where, you know, if you're 16, 17, you have to be in year 12. If you're 17, 18, you have to be in year 13. It doesn't work like that here. And that, you know, that's another beauty of having students from so many different nationalities. Everybody's got their own kind of history. Everybody's got their own journey that brought them ultimately here, and we're all just here, like, you know, as I've said before, we're all just here to support the students and to get to university.
Okay. And can I just, so in terms of, while we've got the different ages living in the boarding house, I'm assuming that are the rules and sort of regulations the same for everybody?
Yep. So everybody has a curfew time. So curfew is 9 o'clock during the week. It's 10 o'clock at weekends. So it doesn't matter if a student is over 18 or not. They have the same rules. And again, the same rules apply about, you know, going out, because ultimately we are the ones who are responsible for these guys. You know, we are kind of in loco parentis. We're looking after them. We have to make sure, you know, we have to safeguard everybody, and also obviously fires, safety rules and health and safety and stuff. So no, it doesn't matter if students are over 18. They have to abide by the same rules.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Now, moving on to a slightly different topic, and again, Chris, I think it's really yourself that need to answer this one in terms of how is Abbey College Manchester maybe different from some of the other colleges in the Abbey DLD group?
We're smaller, we're friendlier, we're nicer. No, I can't.
Be careful.
I can't say that because I don't know the other college. No, we are the smallest. And again, you know, as the girls have said, and as I said, you know, it's cheesy to say, we are like a big family. And again, we can be flexible, far more flexible, because we are small. We know each other really well. You know, the range of courses we offer is fantastic. And again, you know, Manchester, it's probably a safer city than London is. London is a fabulous place to visit. Manchester is that little bit, well, it's a lot smaller. It's just a cool city to be in. Cambridge is very small. Cambridge is very academic. You know, coming to Manchester, it's just a fabulous place to be, basically.
Yeah, and then I suppose obviously the Cambridge College is nearly all international. I mean, in the Manchester College, you have got that mix of domestic students alongside international students as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And having the younger students in year 11, that works really well, because they bring something completely different to the college. And you know, the domestics and the international students, we don't think of them as different groups. They're all just Abbey College students. They all mix, you know, they're all in the same tutor groups, they're all in the same houses, they all live together at Clydesdale or what have you. So it's just a really friendly place to be, where we all dream big and try and get as best results we can, and to the best university we can get to. You know, the girls here talked about Manchester, talked about Liverpool, John Moores, you know, two absolutely cracking universities, which, you know, fingers crossed we can help them get there, help them achieve their dreams.
Okay, that's great. Right, I've got no more questions coming at the moment. Does anyone else, last chance if anyone's got a question that they want to ask? Other than that, I think, you know, we've been online for nearly an hour now, so I sort of thank everyone for their time in attending. I hope you found this morning very sort of helpful and informative. And as I said, we have been recording the session, and the recording will be available to everybody afterwards, along with the presentation. So Chris, I'll hand over to you to sort of finish up and say goodbye.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Tori, and thank you everybody for coming and listening and staying and asking those questions. And, you know, huge thank you to Natasha and Rogine for giving up their time and speaking so well about their experience here, because obviously I can sit here and say loads of stuff, but I think, you know, the girls, what they said, it wasn't scripted. It was absolutely truthful. And so huge thank you to both of you, and best of luck in a couple of weeks with your Uni 1 exams. All right, cool. Thanks everybody. Bye bye.
Great, thank you.